Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to my channel, The Learning Tube. Today I'm gonna give you some tips about learning English. Hope this video will make you happy and you will enjoy this video. Tips number 1. Practice, practice and practice. As we have seen, there's no magic way to learn English instantly. You will have to work at it a lot. Obviously, if you are in a class, you should attend class, do the homework and study as much as you can. Courses are good because they make you more accountable and push you to learn. But even if you are not in a class, it's still possible to practice when you have free time. Fortunately, with the possibilities of the internet, it's easier than ever to practice. You may want to study by yourself. If that's the case, there are many resources and tips available for you. Or if you prefer more structure, there are quite a few free online English courses that you should consider, either as a supplement to another course or as your main course. Tips number 2. Find your motivation. Like any goal, learning a language is always easier and more fun if you have a reason to do so. Be sure to remain focused on that reason, since it will help get you through the times when learning seems hard. For example, do you want to learn English to get a job, to travel, to impress a girl or guy in your class? Or do you want to learn it simply because it isn't easy? Because it's a challenge. Whatever your motivation is, be sure not to lose sight of that motivation. You should also recognize that you may have more than one reason for learning English, and that motivations may adapt or change with time. Tips number 3. For better future output, get lots of input now. You have certainly noticed that in all your language classes there's a period of time when you do a lot of listening and some reading. That period usually comes before you start speaking and writing. Well, that's a natural way to learning something new. Before you can start doing it yourself, you have to see and understand how it's done. There's an idiom for this too. Don't put the cart before the horse. This means that sometimes you have to do things in the right order. In this case, it means getting as much input as you can first and not stressing out about your output, which is speaking and writing. At least not at the beginning. Tips number 4. Don't translate everything. As a teacher, I notice that my students frequently have this problem. It used to be hard to look up every word in a dictionary, but with the internet and Google Translate, it has become easier than ever to get fast translations. Avoid this temptation. The reason is that if you literally translate every single word of a sentence, it will probably sound terrible to native speaker. That's true for every language. Word-for-word translations generally don't take things like idioms, auxiliaries, and prepositions changes into account. And as a result, it's nearly always obvious when students are translating every single word. On the other hand, if you are reading an English text and trying to translate it into your native language, it might not be as bad. It will probably waste your time and confuse you a bit, but at least it won't confuse the person you are speaking to. Tips number 5. Be realistic. Sure, it would be great if you could practice for 10 hours a day, but that probably won't happen. You will have to recognize your own limitations, especially in terms of time, and learn to work with those limitations. If you can only dedicate 15 minutes a day to studying, it's better to acknowledge that and to work with it than to make grand plans to study 2 hours a day. If those plans never actually happen, also be realistic about your motivations. If you only want to learn English for business meetings, it wouldn't make sense to buy an English book that focuses on tourism and vacation vocabulary. So guys, that was the tips about learning English. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our channel for getting more videos about learning English and also for literature. Thanks a lot.